guy. He's decided to play hide and seek. Every now and then he just disappears behind one of these chimneys on the termite mound. You'll see there is a vehicle on the other side of him. We've got some people also enjoying the lovely sight of this young guy. Lionheart, thank you very much for that information. So Vatumi is 4 months older than Hosanna, so which makes him 14 months, just over a year. Sharon, you would like to know how far Hosanna is from Vatumi at the moment. I think it's about maybe a 15-20 minute drive from where we are. Direct line as the crow flies, I would probably call it 10-15 kilometers. I might be overshooting it a bit, but yeah, that's my guess. Jason, you would like to know if these two young men would enjoy each other's company, if they would meet up, if they would play, or if they would do the opposite and fight. I would think they'd rather fight. I don't think there's any connection between the two. So yeah, they'll be in competition. It's not like single lions finding another one or one another and forming a coalition. Leopards are solitary animals and they want everything to themselves, especially from a male's perspective when they grow up. So I definitely think they'd have a go at each other. It would be quite entertaining to see, I think, but it won't be for the faint-hearted. He's nibbling on a piece of grass there. Maybe he wants to just get the grass into his stomach. That'll help with digestion. Sometimes they also induce vomiting by eating grass. So let's see what he gets up to with that. Bless you. Did you see on the light? You could see moisture coming out of that sneeze. I'm not sure. I'll get back to you. In fact, I'm just going to maneuver around, see if we can get a better visual of him again. He's just gotten out of our reach. Darby, just hold on. It might get a bit bumpy. go. Look at how long those whiskers are. That'll aid them when they're moving through thick brush, not always being able to see, so they'll feel vibrations and stuff when they move around. Just look at those eyes. Lion and leopard eyes always interest me. It always looks like they look straight through you. It's a scary thought when these guys look at you very intently, when they decide not to be that friendly and allow you to be around them like this guy has. Debbie in Vancouver, you are on the dot. They are, well, Debbie is saying that these young leopards are very aware of their surroundings and very alert. They have to be alert all the time. They can't let their guard down. They're very vulnerable when they're young like this and on their own. So their alertness levels are very high. And that's why they're often looking around and jumping around, seeing if there's anything that might pose a threat to them. And it's very important that they react quickly if there is a threat. Maybe get up into a tree if there's a hyena or lion approaching. And also if there's a possible food source, try and get into the right position and keep working on those hunting skills. Breathing quite heavily. I wonder if it's because of the heat or has he eaten something. He doesn't look overly full, so maybe he had a snack at some stage. Maybe he eventually got something like a two-step Tony. I wonder if these young leopards, because they might not be able to hunt they might not be able to hunt big prey like a big impala or something, so they might be looking for smaller things. I think their variety in their diet will be a lot broader than some of the adults around. Folks, I think we're going to leave this guy in peace. We're going to head on and explore Cheetah Plains a bit more. For the time being, we're going to head over to Brent.
Hello, welcome back. We're still chatting about Kulikamba. Now, I met a very eccentric Frenchman who'd been in Central Africa for quite some time, and he was one of the firm believers. And he had this magnificent house on the beach where we were staying, and we had a few toots one evening, and the subject of the Kulikamba came up. And I'm sorry, I'm just remembering. And I was with some scientists. One was actually a gorilla, supposed to be a great ape scientist. The other one was a crocodile scientist. And then we had this gentleman. I'm not going to mention any names. I don't want to burn people. He's a wonderful man and an incredible host, and he was really good to us in our time up there. But the other two, the crocodile scientists and the ape scientists, knew him very well. And they basically led my friend Josh and myself, who was visiting me, down this path. And off we go to the back storeroom. And out come all these skulls and bones and vertebrae. And he was saying he's now found evidence of this kulikamba. He had a gorilla skull, and he was trying to put on a chimpanzee vertebra. But he was convinced it was the same thing, but he just mixed matched. And he actually even spent a lot of money sending this off to France to get identified, and they just sent him back saying, "Listen, dude, you got a bunch of gorilla skull bones, and you got a bunch of chimpanzee bones." So I think it's unlikely that a Bigfoot type or bipedal ape, apart from us of course, occurs in those rainforest areas. But there are still a lot of incredible, amazing things that we don't know, and we can learn from those rainforests, especially from the plant, insect, reptile kingdom. I mean, we saw some incredible snakes, incredible bugs, that probably some of them have never been seen before. But that is the wonderful thing about going to places like that. I don't know if you can hear that thunder behind me. It's getting quite dark out here behind me. There we go, you can see the sky. Oh, I can hear an alarm calling Sister Killer. Are we going to get... I hope the lions come to visit. Viam and I have been talking about it. We would very much like the lions to visit us while we're in the tent. I hear alarm calling chin spot batters. And it's quite far away. Let's see what else we can hear out here. Parrots sound like they're above final control, making lots of noise. Squawk, squawk. Woodland's kingfisher, ever present in the summer months. Oh, the rusty bedspring, the Coqui Franklin. Anyway, it's always nice to get out, come have a look what's happening outside. Well, speaking of getting to go outside, we're going to go look outside at the Djuma Dam. So let's see what's happening there. Oh, hello! It's actually not a lizard, it's a gecko. But it's disappearing. I'm afraid it was a bit of a quick view. I don't know if... There we go. Oh, that's... Sorry, I'm looking into the light, not you. The light shining into the tent. It's... Is it a skink or is it a gecko? I think it's one of the geckos. Oh, I can't really identify it at the moment. It's just disappeared. Anyway, well, that was nice. Thank you for that, Zoomy. Now, we have found some other interesting stuff around here. And while I was wandering around outside a bit earlier, I found one of the most feared bugs. Well, feared by me at least. That's around here. And we're going to go across. There we go. Look at that. You can see that wonderful black and yellow coloration. And it's not their bite that bothers me, these guys. I'm just going to swing it around slightly. Ooh, I'm getting better at this whole microscope malarkey. Except I thought I was putting the head, and now I've got the bottom. Let's keep swinging. There we go. And you can see that antenna. It's been dead a while, so it's faded in color. When they are alive. Oh, no, don't roll away. No, other way. There we go. It's the way its body is shaped. Okay. A little bit more. There we go. And I'm just going to get that in focus now, that antennae. So it almost looks like a worm on it, but that's actually... There we go. That's it. There we go. And the wind is blowing a little bit, that's why it's shaking around. You can see that incredible compound eye, and you can see that bright orange antennae. Now, it's a very distinct looking beetle, and that sort of gives away what type of beetle it is. And there we go, the wind's blown it away. So if you know what beetle that was, we can have a look at it now from outside of the microscope. Unfortunately, this one is expired. Otherwise, I definitely would not be holding it. If you know what beetle that is, why don't you send your answers through to questions at WildEarthTV, or you can use the hashtag SafariLive on Twitter. Now, just because we're already in Gabon, I'm going to show you, I'm sure some of you have seen from my Twitter pictures and stuff like that, where I lived on the beach in a hammock in a national park. Okay, so I used to live there. That's the Akaka swamps. So we used to have a camp on that very, no, not that very peninsula, that very peninsula, right there. So we used to live there, and then I spent about 2 months living in a hammock just to the south of Petit Luongo. Now that is the area that is famous for the scurfing hippos. Not surfing hippos, obviously not scurfing, but there we go, that point there. And it's a bit of fresh water, and I lived right there. Isn't that incredible? Now, if you have a look, you can see there's not a road anywhere. The closest human habitation to us was Setikama. And that's a good long distance. And that's a shell place, a shell oil camp. But yeah, and then the next one was Iguela. It used to take us about by boat about 4.5 hours to get to that camp, and then to walk from where one camp was to the other, it could take us almost a whole day. But now, let's go have a look. What's Taylor doing? Oh, no, it looks like she's just driving about, but she wants to speak to you. So let's go see what she's got to say.
I'm indeed driving, Brent, but I'm hopefully going to be driving with a purpose, of course. So there were some reports that I managed to hear on the radio about a lioness that was spotted in between drives, so between the morning and the afternoon drive, that popped into Buffelshoek Dam. So we are making our way there. We're just about to hit Central, and we're going to have a little scratch around and see if we can't pick up on any sign. It seems as though a few vehicles have gone through to have a look and see if there is anybody home, but nothing just yet. But maybe we'll bring some luck towards that area and we shall spot her. Now, I have a suspicion that the entire Nkuhuma Pride have actually crossed out, because I saw a couple of tracks, but I don't know how old they were. They looked like they could have been from last night, but there were also a couple of vehicle tracks driving over them. So I don't know if they were just missed, because I didn't hear any updates about that. And then I also had a look on Arathusa, and we saw lots of tracks going up and down Parallel Road to Red Dam, and then back sort of north again. So I suspect that they have very sneakily crossed over. I could be mistaken. It might even just be that one female that was with Tinyo, the mating pair that went off into Buffelshoek past Sydney's Dam yesterday afternoon. So it could be her too, but we're going to go and have a look. But because it's been so hot today, I suspect that they probably would have gone and stashed themselves down in a drainage somewhere. So I might even have to go for a little walk to be able to find them. But we're on Hyena Road now, and we're going to keep our eyes peeled. Perhaps they've just gone down into their favorite drainage system. Oh, let me just turn the radio up a little bit soft. And it'll be very, very nice if we can have a look at, of course, a lion. Who's hopping up there? I think I just saw a little crested barbet on this knobthorn. Let's see if we can see it. There it is. Park, you were wondering if the lions migrate or if they stay in one spot. Now, they do move around. They have territories, and that little crested barbet that you're looking at that's hopping around on the tree this afternoon. Look how it's hiding away. So these lions, they move around quite a bit, but they do have an area that they stay on. So they normally go into Buffelshoek. They love Djuma. They go south to Arathusa, west into Simbambili, occasionally into Elephant Plains, and then also the smaller properties, Hoffman's, and I don't know if they've ever gone around to Cheetah Plains, but it wouldn't surprise me. Maybe they do creep into the Styx Pride territory. Lions that we occasionally see. But that sneaky barbet wasn't playing ball. Oh, I'm so excited for Evia. He's found something incredible that we haven't seen for too long, but I won't ruin the surprise.
Cheetah Plains is treating us well. Just after leaving that young leopard, we found a lovely breeding herd of buffalo moving into Cheetah Plains. They came from a dam across the boundary and are moving into our area. A rough estimate, there might be 80 or more buffalo around. So this is a real treat. I'm going to move forward a bit and reposition again. Maybe we'll get this herd come and surround us, move all around us. How incredible would that not be? It's really good to see them back in our area. This has been a tough year for the buffalo. I think these herds have had many fallen comrades. But after the rain and as it's greening up and the grass is growing, they're going to start visiting us more and more again. One thing these droughts tend to do, they take away a lot of the younger ones and obviously the old and weaker ones as well. So with these breeding herds, we are not seeing a lot of calves at the moment. Hopefully next season we won't have a drought, and this year keeps going as it's going. Currently we're getting a good amount of rain, but we need more. Then these herds will start growing quickly as these females get pregnant and start giving birth again. It's going to take a while. It's going to take at least a year to maybe 2 years to get these herds growing properly again. There's a younger buffalo, maybe a year old or so, that has survived the tough times. You can see they're still quite thin. There's still a lot of hip bones sticking out. These breeding herds, because they move so much, I think their condition hasn't really picked up as much as those single or small groups of bulls would have. Because they don't move around so much, they tend to hang around in certain areas where the food is good and there's a bit more water. So these guys being forced to move constantly are really gonna take a bit longer to get their condition to 100% again. I've often had the comment from people on safari that why are these guys in the big five? They just look like cattle. They might look like cattle and sound like cattle, but they definitely don't act like cattle when it comes to showing aggression. Yes, you do get a couple of cattle breeds that can be quite aggressive as well, but I think these guys take it to a whole nother level. Imagine spending your life being followed around by lions and having your friends being taken by lions. You're gonna start fighting back, and they are very good at fighting back. So every now and then a lion might fall victim to buffalo, showing that they are not afraid of them. They'll form a front, almost like what they are doing now. Similar type of idea. They'll fan out and make this wall and just move and try and chase these lions off the buffalo that the lions might have in their claws. Sometimes it works, other times it doesn't, but they definitely are extremely dangerous and animals that we need to respect. Any person that works out in the bush and you ask about animals and which ones they are the most afraid of, a lot of guys will say buffalo is their number one animal that they are very wary of, especially when you're walking around on foot. And those lone males or those small bachelor herds that lie in these mud wallows and almost wait for you. You see them at the last minute. It's close. It's almost close combat, and they go straight into fight mode. Where a breeding herd like this would rather move away from you when you're on foot. Those guys at short or close quarters, they'll just get straight into wanting to pick a fight with you. Folks, we're going to head over back to Brent, see what he's up to.
Well, you know what? We're a bit worried about this weather that's coming in from the north. We're going to batten down the hatches, so to speak, but we will be with you again on the Sunrise Safari. Hopefully Herbie will be up and well, so I will not be confined to James's tent. They'll let me loose into the wilderness again, but I must say, I have thoroughly enjoyed spending time in the tent, and you guys have been absolutely splendid on the other end of the camera. I've loved interacting. It's been quite nice to watch the tweets as they come in, because obviously normally we get them in our ear. Now, of course, well done to RC and James. You were indeed spot on, correct. And Raisa. There we go. Oh, there we go. It is indeed a blister beetle, also known as a CMR beetle. Now, the reason it's called a CMR beetle is that black and yellow colouring. It is the original colouring of the Cape Mounted Rifles, not infantry, cavalry unit, and that was their coloration, that yellow and black. So they were called the Cape. Did you hear that, Vim?
I think it was Cape Little.
Ah, I thought I heard it. But no, I don't think the lines are too close. I wish they were. And Vim and I are going to say goodbye to go to Twinkle Toes Taylor and a Terrapin.
Yeah, more. I'm very quickly listening to the radio. I'll have to ask for that update again. We'll get it in a moment. But look how big these terrapins are. Aren't they massive? Well, it's obviously got a little bit chilly, so they've come out to get a bit warm. Not that there's really much sun shining down at the moment, because the big clouds have engulfed the sky. But normally once they see the vehicles, they race back to the water for cover, so that's quite amazing to see them sitting out. And there's another two, there's one making a run for it now. Oh, very graceful, very little splash. You get about an 8.5 out of 10. Let's see if any others are going to turn back. Or the other one on the other side, it looks like it's going to go back. Let's see how much of a splash this one makes. Off we go. Come on, do a somersault now. That is very graceful. Let's see. Oh, a couple of bubbles, but I did like the ending as it popped its head out. So I think we'll go for a 9 out of 10 for you. Anybody else? Or the one closest to us is making its turn now too. Look, it's like synchronized terrapin swimming. That was terrible. You're not going to the Olympics if you behave like that. That one only gets about a 6 out of 10 for its entrance into the water. Now we've got one more terrapin out. Is it going to give us a good show? Or have you just decided you're not going to go back into the water at all? They are funny creatures, aren't they? No, not doing anything. Now, I want to try and find Ephraim. I didn't quite hear what he has. I don't know if it's the lions that he's managed to find or what it is, but we're going to try and have a look, and I'll see if I can get hold of him. I didn't quite hear his update. Let's double check. Ephraim for Taylor. Ephraim Fatelo. So I heard Ephraim say something about a Balanites tree, which was just on my left. So I'm going to quickly just jump down into the drainage system and see if we can't see him from here. Like I said, I don't know what he said he had, but he has something. We'll go and investigate. Okay, copy. Just confirm, what do you have? Okay, copy. Very nice. Right. It seems as though this is very exciting. You are all going to be so happy because it's somebody that you have been asking about for quite some time now. So I hope you're ready. Are you ready? And a big congrats to, of course, Ephraim. He's done a sterling find. Look at this. This is, are you ready for it? Are you ready? Look who we've got lying in the sand. Oh, yes, hello. It's your TV moment, mister. It's Mr. Tingana. Can you believe it? I know a few of you yesterday were asking about his movements and if we'd seen him. Well, here he is. Our suspicions... VM and our suspicions were correct, and he's definitely snuck onto the property. He's very sneaky. I know you saw him last night on the dam wall by the dam camp, and he gave everybody the slipperoo on this morning's drive. But here he is. Isn't he a beautiful boy? Oh, I'm so excited that we are having, I don't know if you could say an infestation of leopards, because that sort of makes it sound like it's a bad thing. And of course, we absolutely love to see as many leopards as we can. So I am absolutely ecstatic. What a terrific find. And I wonder how he did that, because if you didn't come into this drainage system, you would never know that he was here. He's hidden so well. You're a clever boy, aren't you? Also very hot. Let's reposition. Let's move a little bit closer. See if we can get a better view. What I'm going to do is I'm going to poke my nose just down here. We should get a nice shot of him now. How crazy is this? We came to Devil's Hook Dam, and instead we got a spotted cat, and I don't think anyone's disappointed with that. Hello, beautiful boy. This is my absolute favorite, because I know how much Tingana hates the flies. If you remember, a month ago, we had him in the drainage system quite close to Cheetah Plains in Gowrie, Maine. And he was so annoyed by the flies. Remember, he got up about 50 times and kept moving, kept swatting them with his tail and his paws and trying to bite at them. He's definitely not a fan of the buzzing insects. And I don't blame him. I'm also not the best, well, they're not my best insects, the flies. Oh my goodness. It just shows you, though, how much growing Hosana still has to do to get to the size that Tingana is. And I reckon he'll get there. Hope maybe he'll be even bigger. Wouldn't that be nice to have a ginormous leopard like the Anderson male? His dewlap is coming along so nicely. And he looks full too. He doesn't look particularly thin, though he is sitting down in the drainage system, which is making it a little bit difficult. Now, Lorena, you've said that you can't believe that one day our Hosana is going to look like Tingana. Isn't that amazing? And aren't we so lucky that we are able to watch the transformation from the day that Karula first brought her little ones out, and to maybe one day he may even take over this area. But that he's still got a number of years to go, and I think he'll be pushed far away before he could come back towards this area. Right, we're going to stick here for a little bit longer, no doubt, and see what the king gets up to. So I'm going to send you back across all the way to Cheetah Plains to have another look at those beautiful bovids.
Welcome back. Just look at this setting. Although the buffalo have not decided to move all around us, they're crossing just in front of us. Just look at the sun, how it's illuminating the clouds. It is spectacular. I don't think on a hot day like today they would have been moving too much, so they might have found a spot close to that watering hole that they come from in a shaded area and just rested there for most of the hot part of the day, and only now after having a bit of water start moving and feeding. I think they'll feed well into the night, using the cover of darkness and the drop in temperature to move around and get some grazing done. Super Ann, you would like to know if these buffalo are used as livestock by the local people. No. I think it's only the Asian water buffalo that's been used as livestock and as animals that people worked with. So out here in Africa, these buffalo, their temperament is a bit different. I think they would be very difficult animals to tame and get to that level that you could work with them in a proper way. I know there has been one or two projects to do that, and a lot of it, look at those oxpeckers, red-billed oxpeckers, dust bathing, cleaning themselves. I wonder if they're anting as well. I don't see any critters moving around, so probably just cleaning themselves with the dust. But yeah, coming back to that question of the livestock, there are projects that are breeding clean buffalo. Those are healthy buffalo that are not victims of bovine TB, and on some auctions they fetch very, very high prices, and it's become quite a good investment, you could say. But that's the only farming that's been done with them, not to the same extent as cattle farmers would do with any of the cattle breeds out here. Jessica, you would like to know if buffaloes are protected and if they were hunted down as the buffalo in the US. They are a prized trophy by a lot of hunters. In certain areas, the animal species, and there is no hunting allowed. As far as their listing goes, I don't think they're in any danger as of yet. folks, we're going to head on. We're going to leave these buffalo to do their thing and feed into the night. While we do that and see what else is around, we're going to head back to Taylor and see what Tingana is up to.
We're having lots and lots of leopard luck today. I'm actually so excited. There's all sorts of things. There was even a sighting of quarantine, but unfortunately not on our traverse. It sounded like around Torchwood somewhere. So they're all out and about, and especially now that the clouds have come over, perfect for them. Even though Mr. Tingana is of course panting away, I couldn't imagine what they must have looked like at 12 o'clock today, when I'm sure it was at least 110 degrees Fahrenheit. It was well over 40 degrees at one point today. But it is very pleasant as the sun fades behind all the clouds, and well, the daytime will eventually turn to night, and I wonder what Mr. Tingana's plans are going to be. And I hope he sticks around, because we are very close to the boundary, to Buffelshoek Hook cut line. We're not far at all. So let's keep our fingers crossed that he doesn't disappear. Well, at least hopefully he hangs around for the next hour or so. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Now everybody's very excited to see Tingana. Everybody's racing over here to have a look at him, because he keeps giving us the slip. He hangs around for a little bit, then he dives into a drainage line and we can't follow him. He's very sneaky. And then he disappears for a couple of days, sometimes a week, if not even longer. And he just pops up randomly. But he is so beautiful. Now there's a dead tree that's stuck out of the sandbank. I wish he would lay on that branch. You were wondering exactly why Mr. Tingana doesn't rest in trees. He will do, but I don't think there's any need for him to do so at the moment. I think the sand might be nice and cool, because, well, of course, moving across the sky, I don't think that this area would have had too much sun on it for 2 hours or so, maybe even a little bit. So I think that sand has cooled down nicely and is providing a nice cool spot. Though, if he was up in the tree, I think he'd be just as cool. And I think that there'd be a lot less insects buzzing around him. He'd probably be a little bit more comfortable. But look at him. He's got his eyes closed and his tongue sticking out of his mouth. He looks exhausted. What have you been doing, mister? Where have you been? If only leopards could talk, and the stories that they could tell of their journeys. He looks exhausted. You know what this reminds me of, and my mother's going to kill me for saying this, but often, and she still does it to this day, is when you're sitting on the couch watching TV when I'm home, not that I'm home very much anymore, and just, in the evening, or even if she's having a siesta during the day, she'd start to doze off as she was sitting upright on the couch, and she'd sort of drop her head a little bit, as Tingana was doing just then, and that reminded me just of my mom. I think that's very, very funny. I'll have to show her this clip this evening, and she'll probably be very upset with me. I think it's very funny. It's exactly my mother. Except Tingana, you don't have an Australian accent, unfortunately. Oh no, I should say fortunately. I'm just teasing, of course. Hey Tingana, I want to see if he stands up. I want to see how full he is, because he does look like he's eaten something. He's not thin. So maybe he's caught an impala lamb. We know that they're out and about at the moment. Maybe even a young warthog. We've seen a couple of piglets running around too. And that's a really nice snack. One roll over and one yawn, and then he gets up and starts moving. He doesn't really do the whole grooming himself for 20 minutes before he gets up. Once he wakes up and he decides that he needs to go on a mission, he just goes. And I hope he sticks to some easy paths if he does move, so we can follow him, because it'll be quite difficult to navigate through this area. We're actually quite close to where we had the Southern Pride when they killed that Inyala, that young Inyala. I don't know if you remember that. It was about a week ago. And you remember how thick the vegetation was when we were trying to get into that sighting. So that's what we'll have to deal with. And Mr. Tingana does not wait for anybody. Now, Jenny, you're wondering how close is Tingana to Hosana. They're almost on opposite ends of the property. So we're right here near Buffelshoek Cutline. We're not far. And Hosana is all the way down very close to Gowrie, Main, sort of just south of Twin Dams. So they're on complete opposite sides of the property. I'm not sure exactly as how far that is, but it'll be, as the crow flies, maybe 2 miles, 2.5 miles, 3 miles, pushing it, somewhere around there. But next time I drive, I shall I'll try and have a look on my kilometers and just sort of see how far we drive, and then I'll have to practice on conversions. That's something I need to get better at. I think I need to print myself out a piece of paper with all the different conversions, because at the moment I can't do the maths in my head because it's too hot and it requires too much energy. And then of course I always forget the conversions of the various things. So I think I need to do that this evening before I go to bed. Now the wind is gone as well, so I wonder if this rain is going to come across and move further south. Hopefully it does. You can see a couple of dark clouds still, but nothing threatening just yet. Everything's a little bit further north of us, probably sort of towards the Manuleti. So hopefully, like I said, it would be really greatly appreciated if that breeze could pick up and blow the clouds a bit further south. They're moving slowly south, but at a snail's pace, unfortunately. Now, it seems as though Mr. Evia is doing some wonderful exploring this afternoon, so we're going to stick with this boy as he is fast asleep and not doing too much, and let's go see if he's managed to find something else.
Welcome back. We have quickly checked the Kruger Cutline to see if there's any tracks of animals coming into our area, or maybe just something to stumble upon. We haven't had any luck. The plan is to slowly make our way back to that young male leopard and see if we can find him again. See if we can have one last look before we're going to start with our trip back to the Djuma area. I'm very grateful for a lovely afternoon in Cheetah Plains. We've really been treated to some exceptional sightings. There was a question coming through from Anne, but I didn't get the whole story. I don't know, there's something wrong or not working properly with the connection. It's very broken up. So Anne, as soon as I can hear the ladies in FC better, I will get to that question of yours. What is that?
You can watch it there.
Duck. There were some very funny translations that came through there. We're not going to mention it, but no, we do not get duck in our area, and got lost in translation there big time. Just want to have a quick look on the map where we are and where we need to go to get back to that leopard. Okay. Thanks to technology, it's helping me maneuver around between technology and Darby's knowledge of the area. It's making my life a lot easier. Who knows where I might have ended up if I had to come here on my own without knowing where to go. Maybe I would have done a visit to Mozambique if I didn't run out of fuel. Kathy in New Jersey. You would like to know how long I've been a guide for and how does one become a guide. I have been guiding since 2009, so that's about 7 years of guiding. I did my schooling through a place called Limpopo Field Guiding Academy. So I did my basic levels there, and I got lucky and got a job and started taking people out on safaris and moved between a few different companies and camps. First in the Waterberg where I did my training, and then I went to the Lowveld, to the area that we are in now, to a place called Kapama Private Game Reserve. Spent a few years there, and then I moved down to the southern Sabi Sands to Sabi Private Game Reserve. Spent a couple of years there, and at the moment I am freelancing, doing different things all over the Lowveld. So guiding at lodges, guiding at Wild Earth, being able to spend some time with all of you, and then also doing backpack trails in the Kruger National Park, where they drop us off and they leave us for 3 days to walk around in the bush, carrying all our own equipment and camping, finding water in very funny places and having to work quite hard sometimes to get water. But it is great fun, and I'm really enjoying the freelance life. It gives me a lot of opportunities to go to a lot of different places and just keep learning. I think we should be close to where that young male leopard was earlier. Let's quickly see what he's up to, if we can find him again. The way he was moving around while we were with him, I think he might have moved on, but I might be wrong. We are close to that road junction now. Let's see, let's find out. Right, there's someone with him, so we've still got him. Let's see what he's doing. I still can't see him. I'm a bit blind this afternoon, looks like. Keep moving around and see where they are looking, and then we'll work it from there. Oh, there we go. He was right behind a bush. Serious. So
Again, doesn't seem like she's returned. We've been sitting with him and I don't know, he looks very tombstone, very down.
Mike is telling me that he's been in this area for 3 days and Nkanyeni has not returned. So maybe it's time for him to start fending for himself. That might explain all the behavior of moving around and trying to stalk whatever he heard earlier. So it's time for him to become grown. We're going to move around the vehicle here, see if we could get a better shot. Just hold on 1 second. While we keep moving and find a better spot, we're going to head back to Taylor and see what Tingana is up to.
We're getting the most amazing aroma of popcorn. I don't know if, well, none of you could smell that. Only myself and Eggsy could smell the popcorn, of course, because Tingana is now on the move and he is marking his territory. Oh, be careful. Lots of buffalo thorns here, which are nasty shrubs. Right, we're going to try and keep up with him, but he's just ahead in front of us. Let's go over that little shrub. Now, as he's marking his territory through this thicket, he's going to keep an eye out for any impala, any inyala that are feeding in this denser area. And you can see he's paused for a moment. He's listening. He's on a big animal pathway. And he's going to keep trying to mark his territory as he goes. See how he keeps, something's caught his attention. Oh, I can hear impala alarming. Maybe I imagined it. I thought I heard a snort, which sounded very much like an impala. Before I make my next move, I just want to see where he's going. Okay, I think we may try. It's just difficult. We're at a fork at the moment, and I don't know if I should go to the left or if I should go to the right. I think we'll go the easy way around. Right, sneak through here. Now, Lisa, you're wondering if Tingana were to find Shongile and Hosana, would he kill them? Now, I've had the most amazing experience with the previous resident male leopard, Mashabeni, when I was down working in the southern Sabi Sand. And he often used to encounter his previous cub, and he was very social towards her. Well, he didn't pay her too much attention, but he didn't really mind her at all. So maybe there's a possibility, but I think because they're so young, I think he'll know that they're his offspring. Especially if Karula were around. Here he is, popping right out next to us. I think if Karula was around, he'd probably leave them alone. But as they start to get older, they'll obviously have to be careful and watch out. Different. Now he's paused again. The go-away birds are shouting. Telling everybody that there is a big male leopard walking through this area. So he's probably not too happy about that. But let's keep up with him. Whee! He's such an amazing leopard. Now I also need to just update everybody as to where we are. Tingana, hello beautiful boy. Oh, I love him. He's such a nice leopard. He's so tolerant as well. I'm going to tell you on the radio. Mobiles, I've got Tingana again. We're between Hippo Pools Road and Guari Pan Road. We're directly in the center. He is mobile, sort of east, sometimes slightly more south. I'm going to stick with him. There you go, just to let everybody know that we still do have this leopard. Like I said, we're very fortunate. Oh, Very, very fortunate, of course, to have this nimble little vehicle that can sneak through all the vegetation, unlike the bigger vehicles. But look at this. Hello, big boy. How amazing is this? Sorry, I'm just turning my GPS on now just to confirm exactly where we are. I think we're in the right spot. I think it gave good directions. But there is another vehicle in the sighting, so I want to try and guide them in. Let me just see where we are, because I only just got a quick view of him before he started moving around. Oh, my GPS is not working. No, hang on, where are we? Sorry, I'm just having a look here. Which mobile's in this Madora Ingwe sighting with me? Sorry, Henry, I've got your audio of your Morvis, so just keep coming south from where you are now, and then it actually opens up a little bit, and he's static on a termite mound. Okay, copy. Mobile, sorry, just a correction. We're between Bulls Hook Dam East Road and Hippo Pools Road. He's now mobile again, more in a southerly direction. It's just myself here. Rightio, there we go. Updated everybody. We've done our bit. It's just us who are following Tingana now. The other vehicle is heading somewhere else. Like I said, it does make a difference when you have a smaller vehicle, and we do have an upper hand on everybody else because we are able to head into these thicker areas, and well, we don't have any guests on our vehicle either, so we don't have to duck and dive underneath the branches. Right, we're going to have one last look at Mr. Tingana before he disappears into some thicker vegetation. We'll try and keep up with him though, but he's approaching Cheetah Line very, very quickly. Bye bye, big boy. So we'll stick with him for as long as we can, right in front of the vehicle. He's heard something. And he's on the move again. Right, I think though it's about time we go and say hello to Vutomi again.
Votumi is playing a serious game of hide and seek again. He is somewhere in the middle of the screen. There we start seeing a couple of dots. He is flat cat. I think he's realized it's time for a nap after all of his maneuvers earlier. So he's fast asleep, I think. If he wasn't breathing, I think we wouldn't have even seen him where he was. That is serious camouflage. Folks, I think we're going to leave him to do his thing. Start taking our journey back to Djuma. And, well, let's move and then see what else we find. Maybe we still bump into something interesting along the way. Sure. Every now and then you'll see as we drive, we go over these little bumps. They're quite important in the rainy season to have them in good order. They help take water off the roads into the bush. Often water just takes the path of least resistance and runs along these roads, and making these roads almost unpassable in some cases. And with that, these mitre drains really help to keep the roads in a relatively good condition when the serious rains do come down. folks, while we keep moving, heading back home, we are going to head over to Taylor, who's trying to find Tingana again.
We've got him in our sight, but he is so good at maneuvering into spots that we can't go. We're just giving him a bit of space because he keeps stopping and listening to things that are making noise in the bushes, so he'll just get whacked by that tree very quickly. So he might be looking for something to eat, so I'm going to make sure we try and stick behind him if we can, so that if he does ahead, we don't disturb it. We'll see, but we're approaching the cut line very quickly. I think we may lose him in a couple of minutes as he either disappears into Buffel's Torchwood, but let's hope a Steenbok pops up before he gets to do that. This is a fantastic area for something like a Steenbok. He's just moving through. I'm just trying to get a little bit further away from him so we can actually sit and watch him. Not tricky. Oh, we need to go back in here. Just gonna keep. Okay, he's still coming. Just a perfect spot for Rusty to go through. He's coming straight towards. He is. He didn't even. Right, sorry, I'm just checking. It seems as though my voice has disappeared. Okay, we're back again. He walked straight past us. What was that? He smelt the ground, he did a shake, and now he sat down again. He's picked up a scent that he likes over there. He's licking something. I wonder if there's not a bit of water or something. What are you eating or licking? You can see there's a bit of an indentation on the ground. What are you doing? You've got sand on your tongue now. I'm not sure what he's doing. Like I said, there could be a bit of water. Maybe it's just mud now and he's trying to lap it up. He's rubbing his face into it, so it must smell nice to him. Maybe he's trying to cover his scent. Oh, I didn't like that. That is not very polite, Mr. Tingana. As a big bit of drool sags down your lips. Look how he's rolling in it. And leopards are notorious for doing something like this. Often they'll roll in rhino middens or in buffalo dung, even elephant dung, to try and cover their scent. But he's now also licking or trying to lap up whatever is in that little indentation. We'll try and go past there. Oh, it's a bit thick. There's a couple of trees over the top, which might make it difficult. But it'd be interesting to know what's in there. Look at all that drool. Sis. You need a handkerchief to wipe your mouth, my friend. Or maybe an elephant's ear leaf. That will work very well. But you can see now how he's changing. He's gone from being lazy and lethargic to his pupils dilating, and any small movement has got his attention. And that's what happens at night, well, at this dusk period, as soon as the sun starts to set. Their behavior starts to change, and this is really when the big cats come alive. He's blowing bubbles. Look at that big bubble. He's double bubbled. He's acting very much like a house cat at the moment. It's hard to think that when they do such cute things like that, that they are these big, scary predators that take down all sorts of antelope species. And that's the problem, is we become so complacent with these cats. Now, okay, right, you're wondering if it could be female leopard urine that he is smelling. possibly. It could definitely be that. But I thought then, if it was, he'd probably do a phlegm and grimace. If it was leopard urine, a female leopard urine particularly. The fact that he's rubbing it on his face makes me think maybe it's another type of animal urine. I don't know why he'd want to lick it though. My goodness, now we've got ourselves into a tricky situation. Let's try and get out here without decapitating Eggsy. Oh, Tingana, you choose the worst spot to walk, my friend. Right, let's go forward again and back and forward and back until we get out. I can't go under any of these trees. I hope I'm okay. No? Well, we'll just that thing. He's making it extremely difficult for us. Boing! There we go, that serves me right. Hey, take that, silly branch, knocking me on the head. How dare it? Okay. I can't see Tingana anymore. Oh no, I can still see him. He's making ground. I don't know how we're going to go through. Eggsy, do you think we can go through here? Okay, we're going to sneak through this gap. We've just got to put the antenna down. Just watch this branch. It doesn't whiplash you in the face. Are we ready? Right. Oh. Okay, we're going to go through here. Whee! Now, we're going to try and catch up with Tingana, but we've got a bit of ground to make up. So I'm going to send you over to Evia to quickly see how he's going before he leaves Cheetah Plains.
Good luck to take to Mr. Tingana. We are approaching the edge of Cheetah Plains, saying thank you to the land for a beautiful afternoon. Yeah, it's really been a nice day exploring. I think we should come back soon. So the first chance I get, I'm going to come back and explore a little bit more of Cheetah Plains. Fortunately with a cloud bank getting much of a sunset, but there is a bit of beautiful colors. If I go back a tiny bit, quite low down, some very, very nice colors coming through. Let's keep our fingers crossed and hope will bring a lot of moisture to the low veld. In the distance north of us, earlier on during the drive, we heard some thunder rolling, but yeah, I didn't see any rain. I suppose it must have been quite far and carried with the cloud cover. Let's keep moving, see if we bump into. Well, it sounds like Taylor's had some success. We're going to head back over to her and see what has.
Thank goodness he's decided to pop back onto the road, because I was getting a little bit nervous about doing such scary off-roading, because we've just fixed Rusty. I don't want to break Rusty again. Good Rusty. But there he is, missioning along the pathway, which makes it much easier for us to follow him. So maybe what we will do is, I think this is an opportunity. Let's quickly zip onto this road here, and then I'd like to try and actually get in front of him now that he's on a clear path, so we can watch his beautiful face come towards us. He's just marking his territory. Right, where are you going to go? You're going to stay on the road? I think so. Right, let's do a sneaky dash. Woo, hold on. We're going to go quickly. Just do this, woo, and we're coming up to a junction here, and we're going to beat him. We cut Guarri Pan Hippo pulls, in case you're wondering. Everyone's, well, Eggsy's holding on for dear life. We're going to do it. We're going to beat him. Are we going to beat him? Or has he already gone in front of us? No, we won. Sorry, Mr. Tingana. Point to us. Right, spotlight time. stopping briefly as he listens. There was some Franklin just calling one last time before all the sunlight disappears. I think you can hear there's another vehicle that is coming back into the sighting now. Henry, keep coming. We're at the Gwari Pan Hippo Pools Junction now. Hello, big boy. He gets bigger and bigger every time I see him, just keeping a close eye on us. Right, we need to zip around again once he's gone past us. Make sure that I don't drive over him. There he goes. Ooh, that wasn't good. Sorry, I felt a branch poke my feet. Oh my goodness. Come on, Rusty, you can do it. Rightio, I think we're going to follow him until he disappears. Now, there he goes to mark his territory. Now, I know that there's apparently a lion. We do know about this. And time we've really got left of the show, but we're quite far away. I think we've only got 8 minutes to go. So I don't know if we'll get there in time because that's quite a distance away. We're right up on the northeastern boundary. As we see Tingana, we'll probably watch him cross over the boundary and to Torchwood. That seems to be the route that he likes to go. Oh, so nice. It's my favorite smell in the bush, so I just have to take battered popcorn. It's like being at the cinema all over again. It is my favorite. I wish you could smell it. And we'll have smell of it. Tingana. Now we're going to play from vehicle. We will let them jump ahead. Right, it seems as though I'm having a little bit of a technical difficulty, so we're going to jump back across to Evia while I get this sorted out.
We are on a very long straight road heading back to Djuma on Gwari Main. Yeah, I still just can't get over how Cheetah Plains treated us. I might make mention of it a couple of times more again. But while we still have an opportunity, let's see if something wants to pop up, something for us to have a look at. Keep scanning around. Let's just hang out here for a couple of minutes and just listen and take everything in. Maybe we'll hear some interesting calls. Suzanne, you are asking what my favorite bird call is. I'm going to have to quickly find it for you. It's from a gorgeous bush shrike. I can't mimic this call even if I wanted to. Let me quickly find it. Let's see if it wants to play. Just turn on the volume. Very interesting call. You don't see them very often. I'm also still waiting to see it again. I have seen them before, but when I started my bird list, since then I haven't seen one. So yeah, normally you find them in drainage lines, in quite thick areas with a lot of vegetation, and they call from within this vegetation, so you don't really see them. A gorgeous bush shrike. Folks, it's been a lovely afternoon and I'm very happy to have shared it with you. I'm going to say good night, say goodbye. We'll see you bright and early on the morning or the sunrise safari. We're going to head over to Taylor. Have a lovely evening.
Now we're coming to have a look for this lioness. We've left Tingana because he's on a complete mission, and there were a couple of other people that wanted to see him before he disappeared. Aha! But look who we've got here. Just back to Buffelshoek Dam. We raced across in the final moments. Oh, water is sticky. It smells terrible. It's really sort of off, I suppose you could say. But look who is posed. Hello, beautiful. Sitting right up on top of this wall. We must have just missed her. She probably was just laying flat and we drove right past her. But that's of course because she looks exactly like the sand at the moment. Hello, girl. Now I wonder if this is not the youngest lioness. We'll have to wait until she looks back towards us again and see if she's got a pink nose. Definitely not one of the Styx lions because you can see the lack of mange. Be careful you don't roll over the edge, my girl. Grooming herself. So she's probably going to wake up. Maybe she comes down to have a drink. Doing some lion yoga. This has been the most ridiculous game drive with the amount of cats that have been seen today. I didn't think we were going to get the opportunity to see a lion. I thought it was actually too far away. I didn't realize that it was just at Buffelshoek. I thought it was all the way at the Vuyatela Dam where the dam cam is. Oh my goodness, there's another one. Okay, so I was right initially in saying that there is one at the Djuma dam cam that you can all see. But then when Henry from Buffelshoek said that there's a lioness just sitting at Buffelshoek Dam, which was the one that we were initially following up on, I didn't think we were going to get to see her, but that's incredible. That's why I raced on over here, so that we could just have a little look at her. Ooh, doing a contact call. Who are you calling, girl? Or there was either that or a satisfying moan. Maybe after she was scratching herself. You see that? Contact calling. Oh, turn your volume up. So Kirsty's just said that the lioness that you can see on the dam cam is looking straight towards where we are at Buffelshoek. Now, don't you think that's amazing? Now, that wasn't particularly loud. I could feel the rumbling though underneath my feet. But it just shows you how good lion's hearing is, because we're a fair distance away. Probably at least a mile, maybe about a mile, maybe a mile and a half away from the other dam. So I suspect that this is probably the youngest lioness, and she's made an escape from Tingana. She's managed to outmaneuver him. Maybe he's still around, maybe he's lying in this thicket. And I think she's going to try and find the rest of the pride. So you'll have to let us know if you can hear the other lion roaring. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to jump onto the dam cam now and have a look at the other lioness very quickly. Now she's sitting, and I think she heard me obviously say that we were going to switch to the dam cam feed, because she's now staring at you. Now look at this lioness as she climbs majestically down this mound of sand. Come and have a drink right here for us, please, young lady. This is definitely the youngest lioness. You can see straight away. Oh, beautiful girl. Where are the lion whisperers today? Isn't this a fantastic way to end a wonderful evening out here? Having a drink after the hot summer's day to just parch her thirst and get ready for the long walk back towards the Djuma camp. Now, unfortunately, this is the end of it, and we're going to have to say goodbye, but it's been fantastic. So thank you to everybody behind the scenes, sitting in final control, to, of course, everybody at Wild Earth. Really, everyone does an incredible time. But I'm going to say bye very quickly. We'll see you in the sunrise safari. Let's have another look at this beautiful girl.